Sup. Shadowgun Legends. First and foremost, is it a game? What kind of question is that, you will say? Unfortunately, mobile gaming has fallen so low, that we can't even call most things on Google Play, games. Autoplay features and gameplay, consisting of randomly spam tapping the screen, have gotten us to the point where this is a legitimate question: are you looking at a game, or are you a part of an attention-grabbing scheme that is making you brain dead, to the point that you're mindlessly drooling on your phone? Is that why they make them waterproof nowadays? The point is, we need to raise the bar. It's frankly embarrassing what we've done with mobile gaming. Autoplay, maximum monetization with minimum effort. #woke. Back to the point now. Shadowgun Legends, developed by Madfinger Games. Do you like Borderlands or Destiny? Would you like to have those experiences on your mobile device? Well then, I guess you need to wake the bleep up. Shadowgun is not that. Mobile gaming is centuries away from that. But Shadowgun has its merits considering the mobile competition. It's trying, and for all I care, this is commendable in this dark, auto-plagued age. It's a mobile free-to-play PvE and PvP co-op looter shooter. The gorgeous graphics and the satisfying gunplay set this title apart. However, the broken loot system is the straw that could topple the grind wagon in the long run, in your particular subjective version of reality. It did in mine. Shadowgun is all about collecting that sweet loot and climbing the fame ladder. The game is structured around a small central hub free roam environment, at the center of which is a statue of the character model of the most famous Shadowgun at that moment. Fame is like XP but different. Don't worry about it. The hub is also where everything that is not mission related happens: inventory management, accepting quests, and so on. The overall point being to get famous and get loot. What are the Shadowgun though? Here's the basic premise of the game. Shadowgun are the remnants of human civilization fighting an impossible war with an infinite alien enemy that came from space somewhere, and nearly every Earthling was murdered. The Shadowgun seem completely unfazed by this though, absolutely zero bleeps. The hub world they inhabit in between missions is colorful, there's confetti everywhere, people are cheering, admiring you and taking photos of you upon your return from a Slaughterfest mission. The tone of the game is great in this sense, it's sadistically cheerful, something that would remind you of Borderlands. Effort was put into the writing of the in-game dialogue and mission briefings, and I recommend rolling your eyeballs every now and then on in-game text. The gameplay loop revolves around loot and leveling up. Loot of course consists of different rarities and they are so very broken. But more on that later. Loot is gained from killing enemies, finding hidden chests, completing various missions, game modes, and achievements. Leveling gives you painfully slow access to main quest missions and skill points. The game mode variety is impressive. There are arena battles, where you fend off waves of enemies. 4 raids that consist of a long mission, with some puzzles leading to a boss fight. And then there are the obligatory main and side quests. Those are all solid game modes, some of which last up to 20 minutes, requiring you to invest uninterrupted attention. You don't see that often on mobile. But it all really does get repetitive. The raids are fun, but if you play them often they get old because they are the same every time. Worse than that are all the normal side quests that are the shortest and least rewarding mission type. Main quests are the main squeeze of the campaign. They are long and rewarding missions but are too far in between. This story mode is disappointing because every such quest is level gated and at one point you need to grind it out for a week to unlock the next one. So why bother and not just delete this gorgeous feast of a grind? Looter shooters count on exciting loot and satisfying gunplay to distract the player from the grind. Shooting your gun in shadow feels amazing. The developer Madfinger really nailed it here. The feeling of shooting your gun and killing enemies will keep you coming back for more, making the grind bearable. What is unbearable is the goddamn loot. I swear, it makes no sense, and it's not gratifying to get a rare drop, I mean a rare drop at all. Let me break it down for you. Item rarity is graded from white, common, to gold, piss. The other thing you need to know is that the game revolves around power ratings, not stats. On top of that, golden drops aren't that rare. There are daily missions that can be played once every 24 hours, and are guaranteed to reward a golden item. This results in a steady inflow of so-called legendary items. The result is a golden shower of abundant mediocrity, except this is not a joke, and the golden items are literally piss. I kid you not. If you pay attention to the loot you get from dailies, and golden drops in general, you will notice they will always be 0.1 or 0.2 stronger than what you got last time. The result is the rarest items are weak and common, essentially pointless as player motivation. Mad Finger, you sneaky bleeps. All you did is coat the common items in cheap yellow. I guess the point is to maintain an illusion that you are making progress daily to keep you coming back. In the long term though, loot is ruined. Not only them golden shower items, all the rarities are absolutely broken in this game. Here is how power rating works in Shadowgun. It's absolutely random and power rating only exists as a placeholder. I'm almost kidding. Each item has a power rating that affects your character's overall power rating. Items have a rarity, a level, a power rating, and a number of perks, like for example 8% damage to elites. Only guns have actual stats beside the power rating. Simple, right? Do you feel the plot twist coming? So a level 24 pair of blue gloves should be weaker than a level 24 golden gloves, gold being the rarest loot drop. Any normal person would expect this to be the case. I've checked with people that fall into this category, it's true. But not on Shadowgun's watch. In their demented world, the golden gloves would often have a lower score and are weaker. They would lower the power rating of your character. Not always, but often. Plot twist. So what is the point of that rarity scale? Cool man, you got something that is rare and undesirable and it puts you at a disadvantage. Tourette syndrome also falls in that category, but you don't go farming that, do you? How do you even compare two armors with similar power ratings and different perks? What are the stats besides the perks? It's a secret. So you are comparing apples and dingleberries at that point. You simply do not know how gear affects your character. But what about the perks? Perks on items are gradually unlocked as you deal damage or gain fame. Unlocking perks boosts the item's power rating a bit. But in the end of the day, your golden item may never surpass that blue one. You might say this makes some sense. As a counter-argument, check out those two badonkadonks. Take your time to think about which one should be the better item. The equipped golden bazooka has 3 perks unlocked and it has better stats. The purple one has none of its perks unlocked and its stats are worse. Now, let the tiny blue arrow on the purple bazooka shatter your grasp on reality. With no unlocked perks and worse stats, the purple bazooka has a higher power rating. Why the bleep? The only reason imaginable is that the purple item is 1 level higher than the golden item. And that's not even a reason. This is an obscured, utterly unhelpful loot grading system. Might as well just use zodiac signs to rate gear. The marginal and plentiful golden items, aka the golden shower, and the unintelligible power rating system, aka doing math with zodiac signs, put at stake one of the main pillars of looter shooters, the loot. What am I playing towards? Legendary items should make me feel accomplished, not just as powerful as before but more confused. So yeah, Mad Finger, if anyone should be mad, it's us. LOL that pun. To be fair, I'm giving the game a disproportionate amount of crap. I don't hate it. I actually like it. I'm not mad, I'm disappointed. Shadowgun offers full, hassle-free gamepad support, and full customization of every key, and this is so very sexy. It has to be applauded, and it's an absolute must for games that take themselves seriously, and yet few realize it. But it's not perfect. Aiming with analog sticks is hard. Not that the controls are bad, but in the absence of a mouse, a little aim assist is needed to help you track moving targets, once you've successfully aimed at them. Shadowgun doesn't have a bad control problem, but it has to make up for the limitations of gamepads. Lots of games do it. Using a gamepad kind of limits you in terms of precision and speed compared to greasy thumbs. It has other advantages, like knowing which button you are pressing, something a touch screen just can't offer. There is a sort of an assist. When aiming down sights, you snap to the target closest to your crosshairs. Which is kind of okay, but I do find it difficult to follow a target once I've gotten them between the crosshairs. Now, to this you may say, "Get good." This is very creative, and you should be proud of yourself for the intellectual peak that you climbed with this revelation. You definitely got the point. Nowadays I'm only logging in for the 2 daily missions. After I've completed them, I just stand there and I wonder what game mode to play next. There's no story mission to play until the next level, and that's a week away. And the rest of the PvE content is kind of the same in terms of rewards. You get some purple drops and maybe a golden sprinkle from most of the missions. We've seen how unimpressive those are as an incentive. PvP is not really my thing, especially in PvE games. So I'm just sitting in the hub. I want to shoot aliens in the face, but I just don't have an incentive to do one raid over another. The game just lacks structure, I think. I propose a rotation where different missions will give bonus XP, fame, cash, or specific loot drops. For example, for the next 30 minutes the Bronze Arena will give an enhanced reward of some kind. After 30 minutes or less this mission will rotate and we will have an incentive to play something else. This approach gives players a sort of a guide as to what to do with their time in game. You can combine it with something worth farming too. Fix loot rarities, buff the golden drops, lose the power rating, or more realistically, include some easy to compare, meaningful stats. It's possible to include a new item rarity that is actually rare and powerful. I'd grind towards that. Add some stats to protective gear that is informative and makes sense. Other than that the game feels a bit stale. Updates on the PvE content is really lacking. Granted, that takes resources. The suggestions above are more constructive, I think. They let you do more within the content you already have. But all that's just food for thought. Oh, one more thing. Skill points should be redistributable without having to spend 300k on it. I've earned them once, I should be able to redistribute them. You should encourage experimentation, not hinder it. Let's face it, mobile gaming is in a bad place. Most things out there are attention-grabbing schemes, so when a developer puts in the effort to deliver something of high quality it's noteworthy. And this is the case with Shadowgun. It's not a bad game, despite how much bashing I'm giving it. The bar is set kind of low though when it comes to mobile games. When I find something that grabs my interest, it usually ends up having a big but. Let me rephrase. There's always something in mobile games that leaves me unable to fall for them. You really hope that next one will be just what you're looking for. That it's going to fill the gaping hole in your soul. Shadowgun was that for a short while. And then I realized one of its 2 pillars, the loot, was swept away right before my eyes, by a shower of gold, purposefully unleashed onto the game, washing my illusions away with it.